All right, so here we are. We're starting a new game.
Persona 5 game. I've never played any Persona games. In fact, the first time that I experienced Persona was working at GameStop, and I saw the Persona 4 DS game, 3DS game or whatever.
No, it was on PS Vita.
No, there's also one on...
Is there?
Yeah,
because I've only known them to be on PlayStation or Vita.
Yeah, no, there's totally there's a Persona game on DS. And
oh,
it's like,
yes, that's Persona Q.
Yeah,
that's why.
that one.
That's why. That's not really much of a mainline one.
I figured, because it's called Persona Q, but...
Then they're all very cheap with big heads. But
Yeah.
I've played Persona 5, and I've platinumed it. So now you get to have the chance of playing it and experience it all on your own. Yeah, and I just get to sit
The
here.
contract has been sealed. I thought we were playing Persona 5, not Danganronpa.
There's no contracts in Danganronpa, so.
I beg to differ. I seem to recall you mentioning a contract sealed in blood and death.
No, I do not vaguely recall this.
It is filled with distortion and ruin can no longer be avoided. This is totally off sync, by the way, so don't worry about syncing this bit up.
We'll see about that.
Tricksters. I mean, the guy they got doing the audio for this is amazing. He has an excellent delivery. It's like not quite to like that like Satan voice that appears in Doom when you go to hell, but it's like not quite to like Jet Black's voice actor, whose name I can never remember.
Yeah, they picked wonderful voice actors and actresses for this game. I love this game.
I will say, Joker's voice actor, from what I've heard, does not match up with him. Like,
He doesn't say much, to be honest. But
it's so anime.
it.
I like it's a bit. A lot of people bitch about like modern CG animation, and it is possible to do it wrong. But I feel like modern CG animation is considerably easier because you don't have to essentially custom create every character every time.
I mean, they did an amazing job because they just animated this like this was an anime. The studio who did this is just so beautiful.
If we start watching Bible Black.
Just about right now. Strap in. We're kind of stuck in for 100 hours here.
Yeah, 100 hours, or at least until the embargo against doing recordings for whatever.
I think that's roughly around. I think because the game has in-day calendar like we do. I think that's around October, November. I think, but it's a good ways into the game. Like that's like near the end. What's not?
I mean, he looks like such a child.
Well, they're in high school.
I mean, I know, but it's like...
It's also the anime. The anime does not help look any older.
Mask, yeah, it just is.
Dissing the Joker mask. The Joker mask is amazing.
The Joker mask is great until you see somebody's eyes behind it, because then it just makes them look like they have enormous eyelashes. Okay? I love how it's boyish, even though that's obviously a girl's voice. It is not boyish at all. It's very girlish. And of course, I'm playing this on PS4. I use the Xbox, so to me, R2 translates to
what are you
triggers.
doing?
Got it. Okay. Had to think about that for a second. Oh, good. I don't actually have to jump. That could have ended badly.
Yeah. So obviously a lot of the platforming in this game, there's really not much to it. It's mostly you just running around.
I fully expected that, considering what I was led to believe is that the only things that
you want to go straight.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh,
Nope,
hey, there is
it's
actually a ledge there.
Yes.
Yoink.
You might not want to dash it.
You might as well go trying to stop time. That's what the lyrics of the song are. You may not have realized that because she's Japanese as a natural speaker and speaks English about as well as I speak Japanese.
All right, well, you got to get out of there.
Okay. I would love if it would let me move while they were talking. Action!
So
So this is the other problem with the not the PS4 controller, but just the difference in controllers in general, is that the X button is in a different position on every goddamn controller across consoles.
I think it's just a proprietary thing.
Oh, it totally is, but it's really annoying because when I pick up a new controller, it's like X has moved. X is either in the square or circle position on this controller, depending on whether you're using an Xbox One controller or a Switch controller. Okay, then.
Yeah, so this is essentially most of how the combat works. So you have guards walking around with masks. You rip off their masks to reveal their true selves. Then you get to fight them.
Well, I see we've already hit full anime.
Yes. This is exactly what Persona games are.
Yeah, this is, I seem to recall that it takes, 4 bosses to get to the giant vagina tooth demon in Dark Souls?
You mean Gaping Dragon?
Yeah.
Gaping Dragon, I believe, I remember correctly, is the 4th boss.
Let's go ahead and gun this guy. And fire.
So what you can do is you can keep shooting as long as you have ammo.
Fire. Alright, no gun, no shoot. Alright, and then I'm going to attack him standard with stabs.
So you only,
I have to admit, this is probably one of the most visually appealing turn-based combat systems I've used.
Game's beautiful. I absolutely
agree.
love
It definitely has a very clear aesthetic to it. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Wind Waker in that respect.
Kind of. It's got a bit of a cell shading to it.
Not necessarily the cell shading so much as it has a style, and it very consciously sticks to that style.
I love this game.
Take your time. I plan to, because I'm using a game I've never played and a controller I almost never use. I think the last time that I used a PS4 controller in earnest, I was playing Rocket League.
Yeah, and that's not really using the controller too much.
I mean, it is, but it isn't. I mostly stick to the triggers.
Yep.
I seem to recall while trying to play Rocket League on the PS2 or PS4, I basically just translated the controller in my head to where the Xbox controls were. Alright. I like how he says, "Come on, man," but the dialogue says, "Dude, can you even hear us?"
Yeah, it's because they just have basic lines for that.
I figured, yeah.
But...
It's conveying emotion.
Okay, so you got a map on your right, and all the little yellow lines shows you where there are doorways.
Why? Okay, so do my footprints that keep appearing on the map matter?
No.
Okay.
It's just kind of letting you know where you've been.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a way to kind of, yeah.
Alright, so X is essentially the A button on this controller.
Yes.
Got it. And function and position. Escape from the casino. Okay, just gonna go this way. Ooh, can I do anything over here?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So there's just an asshole there.
This is a very linear beginning.
I mean, it makes sense. This is basically the tutorial, and I'm killing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I am truly the best person to ever play this game. Hide? I don't want to hide.
Well, you kind of have to, because you're sneaking out.
Sneak past when you see an opening. Fortunately, I'm a fucking ninja, apparently.
Yes. Just ran right past it, didn't even see you.
It's the all black trench coat, man. It makes me invisible.
I mean, it is definitely the best for hiding. I love how it says gameplay recorded paused.
Yeah.
But no, it's not.
Yeah, we're cheating the system. Also, we're gonna edit this out.
Just edit out the cutscene.
We don't want to get taken down. Watch us put this up with like half a second of the cutscene in there, and they're like, "Nope, copyright claim."
That's not how it works.
Kind of is actually.
I'm pretty sure the whole game itself is a copyright.
Don't want to skip.
Do not skip.
No, I do not want to skip.
I think you almost broke it there.
I'm getting a very Inception-y vibe from this. Which I suppose makes sense, because as I understand it, this game is basically about the same thing the movie was. People sneaking into people's brains and stealing things from them.
Sort of.
Which is why I imagine he's got his mask on, because I imagine that means he's in Dreamland, as it were.
I don't know, we'll find out. Oh, dude, you're busted.
Fortunately, I have my trusty R2 button, also known as a trigger to most normal people.
don't think they needed that many cops.
I mean, he's just such a badass.
You're busted.
Wasted. Oh, hey, they got his mask off. From the gifs I've seen of that, I understand there's usually a lot of blood involved in that. Man, those pants. Those pants are really something.
Got something wrong, plaid? It's a uniform.
It's very unusual. It's a different color scheme.
Yeah, I like it. That's just me.
That sounded like he got kicked in the nuts, but I don't think that's what they were going for. Now's one of those times, pays to be the strong, silent type. Also, gotta love the little bit of power fantasy going on here.
Just getting beat up.
The idea that a 15-year-old kid could get the shit kicked out of him like this and not cooperate. Because let me tell you, I know a lot of 15-year-old kids, all the ones that would be able to get the shit kicked out of them and still not cooperate, let me tell you, they don't look anything like him. Usually they got a lot more tattoos.
Yeah. Well, girls, we're in Japan. A little different.
A much longer history of violence as well, usually. Probably some criminal activities. Probably a few...
All right, so what difficulty do you want?
You cannot change the difficulty when
selecting this option. So we got what is known as Safe Baby Easy Mode. If you just want to play the game, get the story, don't really care about the game being too hard.
So I'm one of those people who, when I got Wolfenstein 2 and noticed there was a Daddy I Want to Turn difficulty, immediately opted for the Ultra Violence difficulty, the second hardest difficulty. I don't remember. It's not called Ultra Violence. It's called like Uber Murder or something. I don't remember. I just remember that it's not the hardest difficulty, because that would be Mein Leben, which is where it's the hardest difficulty, and if you die, you go back to the beginning of the fucking game.
Yes. And
I was like, nope, not touching that shit.
Yeah.
But
so
I'm really tempted to do this, but
it's hard.
I'm gonna go ahead and pussy out here. Yes. And if it turns out it's too easy, I'll just crank the difficulty up a little bit. In the unlikely event.
Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei games can be pretty difficult. Because I mean, this is like, it's going to be like your normal turn-based, where, you know, you take your turn picking your attacks. That's a good point,
too. It's also technically a Shin Megami Tensei game, but it's not a Shin Megami Tensei. Strong silent type.
Oh, why?
Strong silent type. I feel like the original Japanese delivery of that line was a lot crazier sounding based on the animation choice they made with his face there, where his like eyes go woo.
Possibly. I mean, we could turn the Japanese voice on.
I'm kind of tempted to do that, but I figure that actually being able to understand what's going on might help.
All right, now you get to pick the name. What are you gonna name yourself?
Name myself.
And make it appropriate.
Sex Butt.
No, it's gotta be appropriate.
Oh, does it really?
Yes.
Now, how appropriate does it have to be? Are we talking like Worms levels of appropriate here, where you can name yourself like Bog Flogget or something?
I don't know, because I never named myself bad, but I'm just saying, we're making a video here. Don't be bad. Because you're gonna be stuck with this name the entire game.
I'm gonna name him Wiggy.
What? You're not gonna capitalize it?
You should make a good point, actually. I should go back.
That is just so uncalled for.
How do I capitalize? L2 and R2?
Well, you gotta go back.
Okay, there we go. That's the capitalize part.
No, be serious about this.
I'm gonna take this game as unseriously as humanly possible. You're making a point, though. And name him,
What are you... 15 minutes in, we just got to the name. What are you... This is not a name. This is not a name, sir. Yeah, I hope you know you're making a first name and a last name.
Oh, really? Okay,
yes, you're making a legitimate name.
So I actually do really want to name him Wiggy. I'm going to name him Wiggy. I'm going to take it seriously. His name is going to be Wiggy.
No. Gotta name Wiggy with an I-E.
No. He's got the Y. He's Ying it up. He's Y.
You're not cool enough to have the IE?
No, he hasn't earned it yet.
Fine, then now you need a last name then, if you really want to be Wiggy.
Yeah, I'm Wiggy Flogbottom. That's a little silly. Let's get serious here. Jones.
Very generic, but okay.
No, actually, you know what? I'm going to go maximum weeaboo with this one.
Oh dear. I knew exactly as soon as you put T, I knew what you were going to put. Really? Really? Okay.
No, actually,
Oh my goodness, make up your
Look,
mind.
I don't get to customize the character. This is the closest I can get to my half-hour Skyrim beginning video, okay?
Okay. Strap in. This is going to be...
Wiggy Tohou.
This is my name.
Let me rewrite that.
That's not right.
Yes, I am Wiggy Tohou.
You got hit in the head so hard you couldn't even remember your name was Wiggy.
My name is Wiggy Tohou.
Oh dear.
For a second, I thought that was our character, even when I saw the hips, and I was
If
like,
that was gonna be our character, I was gonna say we damn fine.
She has a lot of I's and J's. She's got a lot of dots in her name. She has like 4 dots in a row.
Yeah, it also doesn't help, like, it's just so confusing, like, why does it have 2 I's? And then a J.
They also have a very unusual choice in what they, like, bold with the typeface.
I think it's because they're going for, you know, when they do newspaper clippings, they make notes.
Maybe.
I think they're going for that type of typeface. I really like it.
I mean, I'm not complaining. It definitely is very distinctive. For a second, I thought her shoulder was all torn up.
Interesting.
She's the prosecutor in Japan, too. Like, Japanese criminal justice system is basically like, oh, the prosecutor thinks you're guilty, prove they're wrong. Like, there's a pretty heavy cultural expectation, as I understand it.
I think it's because they also make sure that their cases, most are usually...
They don't, though. Like,
really?
there's a huge cultural assumption that if you're there, you're guilty. Also, they're...
well, I wouldn't know. I'm not in Japan.
I don't remember the correct term for it. I think ours is adversarial, but basically, the Phoenix Wright games are based on the Japanese law system as well. So, the Japanese system is investigative. So the idea isn't prove that the defendant is innocent or not guilty at the very least. It's prove who did it.
Interesting.
So the defendant has to prove, but essentially the defense attorney is basically tasked with like, okay, well, if your guy didn't do it, who did?
It's much different than ours.
Yeah, and now at the same time, I mean, I'm talking about this as an American who's heard things only secondhand, so I'm sure that is vastly oversimplified and probably wrong in many ways, but that's as I understand it, which is why the Phoenix Wright games are so weird, and also why the judge is the way he is.
Could be.
Also, apparently the most unusual thing, reportedly, and obviously this is largely facetious, but the most unusual thing about the Phoenix Wright games is that Phoenix Wright wins. It's not uncommon for defense attorneys to go their entire career without a victory. it, lady. You're sitting right in front of me. I'm not, like, remote calling you here. There's no cell phones involved.
I'm
You're not
pretty
the fucking
sure.
Sprint guy who works for Verizon now. No, Verizon guy who works for Sprint.
I'm pretty sure she's more talking about the fact that you're drugged up. That she's trying to make sure you're coherent.
I suppose. I mean, he is kind of a lightweight, and he looks like kind of a pretty boy.
I mean, literally was just a shot of a syringe, so put the 2 and 2 together.
Why do you need to know?
Well, it's want. But
I know, but I'm kind of channeling Frozen's wife here. You tell me where my suit is, woman. I mean, I can say a sentence. That world.
So spooky.
I love how, like, this is obviously taking place later in the story, but they're deliberately being vague so that they don't give away.
They're doing like a Memento thing,
yeah, exactly.
Where we gotta go back in time to find out what's actually happening right now.
Gotta go back in time.
But I kind of like that. Not a lot of games tend to do
that.
A lot of games are more like you start here, you end here.
It's also kind of cliche.
I like
Case in point, A Way Out, and its decision to constantly flash to the future to remind us that, no, seriously, at some point...
But I like how they did it here because it, still kind of lets you try to figure out what's going on.
No! You think I'm being held captive? That wasn't abundantly apparent from all the kicks in the dick this guy's received. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty astute. From what I've heard about the combat, that is accurate.
But we can do it. We can persevere.
We're going to persevere. It's easy mode. We're still going to get kicked in the dick a bunch.
That's okay. That's what editing's for. That's what editing's for.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to be like one of the episodes, every other episode is just going to be a super cut of every time we get kicked in the dick. All right, fine. Is this going to turn out to be like BioShock, where it's one of those psychological takes on what it means to actually play a game?
Well, you can find out.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I must remember. You remember? I remember.
Wiggy, you must remember.
Yeah, Wiggy Tohou.
Name's gonna go down in history.
Because I was thinking Icky Tofu in my head, and I was like, that's not a real name, so I gotta go with Wiggy.
Okay, let's not save in my saves.
Okay, so that's what that one is? These are your saves?
Yeah, those are my saves when I was running through getting achievements.
This one is an empty one?
Yes.
You got 99 levels and a Flynn ain't one. Hey, you saw it coming. Wiggy! You named your guy Flynn, and you're giving me shit for Wiggy? Flynn is not a real name.
Flynn is absolutely named. Wiggy is not. It's like you thought of a wig.
I know somebody named Wiggy.
I feel sad for your friend.
Alright, we're gonna overwrite because no save is worth it. You always gotta save twice.
Absolutely.
And then I guess I just back out, and that's how I get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, it's April 9th. Oh, great. So we're just really cementing the whole mask thing by having him wear glasses.
He's gotta see. You wear glasses as well. You can't be mad about him wearing glasses.
I'm not even mad about him wearing glasses. It's just that shot was clearly meant to evoke his fucking mask.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think so? The guy whose mask involves a big black line around his... okay, so we're just getting a full frontal shot of bouncy boobs there.
Mm-hmm. I mean...
Again, we're in Bible Black territory.
It's not anime without boobs. Oh, you killed him.
I was arrested for killing a man because I spun him around.
Oh, but now he's a zombie.
His neck. I'll sue. I'll sue you. I'll take all.
I thought America was so happy.
I mean, admittedly, there is kind of an element of that, as I understand it, through the Yakuza. They use it as a means of extortion.
Uh-huh.
Of like, do this or I'll sue you.
I know America. It's just you can be a regular person and just walk up to someone and be like, "How dare you?"
It's Yakuza or Yakuza. I end up pronouncing it like fucking Yahtzee. Yakuza. Alright. Yeah. I wonder too, what's with the like, insert food here arrows on his collar? You know, the ones that point right to his mouth?
That's just a part of the school uniform.
They just have chevrons on the collar for some fucking reason. Also, from what I understand, Japan gets kind of toasty in the summer and rather humid. It's been compared to Florida to me. So walking around with a fucking turtleneck as part of your school uniform, that's gonna suck.
Well, to be fair, this is in April, so it's probably not.
Professor X, where is he? Let's find him.
It's probably not that hot yet.
I suppose it is in Arizona. It's not where it's fucking 110 degrees by April.
Or higher.
Yeah. The world is frozen.
And there's blue fire. Spooky fire.
I'm gonna guess that this is his persona.
Could be.
Lord Cockbag or whatever it is. Oh yeah, definitely his persona.
We just saw into the future, and it looked awesome.
In the future, we do not say yes. We say affirmative. See, this is what happens when you download mysterious apps. I didn't realize that this game was going to have a crossover with Excel World. God, there's a fucking anime that needs a season 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I figured this one can run a little long because it's like... Okay, so if you're ever confused about what to do or where to go next, look in the upper right corner of the screen, view hints. Super awesome. Exit the subway station. I would love... Okay, there you go. Now you're letting me use the sticks. Oh, hey, I can examine. Examine all the things. An exaggerated slogan is displayed within. Also, none of these people have faces. It's like they were all extras in the first season of Ruby.
They're doing the typical anime thing where it's not important.
Wait, hang on 1 minute. This is how much it costs to live downtown. Holy fuck balls.
That's a lot.
Actually, that might not be a lot. If that's yen, that's $42 a month.
I think there might be some price somewhere else. That might be just the down deposit.
Yeah, that might 42. No, as I understand it, it's usually
I have no
idea.
Like
a month's rent is the expected deposit, and then that's what you get back.
Not necessarily, because apartments usually like a down deposit's a little bit less.
So Japan is weird too. Japan, you're not only supposed to do the security deposit, first month's rent. Usually they do third month's rent, like up to third month's rent. And then also apparently, I don't know if this has changed because it's a 10-year-old video that I saw this in, but apparently you're also expected to give like a donation to the apartment owner as like a gift of like, please and accept me. I mean,
that's definitely a lot nice. I mean, to be fair, they are letting you live there.
Almost like a dowry though. It's like fucking weird, which is kind of inconvenient when you're trying to find a place to live. All sorts of people live in the city. Spy on them like a peeping Tom. You might learn something new. Okay.
Well, sometimes some people give you some information about what's going on.
Smash X on everybody. Unfriendly officer. Yeah, you look like a real dick. I want to ask for directions. This is something, as I understand it too, that police officers in Japan are actually quite helpful about. Is that like, hey, I'm lost, please help me. And they're like, yeah, sure, here's where you want to go, this is everything you need. I'm also saying all this, and I've never fucking been to Japan. I'm a white guy from the middle of fucking USA. You know, I've never left the fucking country. So, accident. I see a policeman over. Oh, because it's a little girl. Okay,
yeah.
That's why. I thought the fucking mom was talking, so I was like really confused for a minute. Like, why is this grown woman struggling to fucking talk? Okay, so this is welcome to Corneria shit.
You actually want to go back that way.
Oh, I see the yellow door. Sojiro Sakura. I'm guessing this is who I'm staying with. It's crazy to me, like, on the one hand, this residence, obviously privately owned, is considerably smaller than just about anything out here, but it somehow looks better than the fucking house I'm renting right now. Sakura-san? It's a dude named Sakura?
It's his last name.
Oh, okay.
His first name is Sojiro.
I don't know why I was expecting the name conventions to be in Japanese. So I was expecting his last name to be Sojiro.
No.
Oh, hey, can I go up here?
No.
Old apartment. I don't see the name Sakura. This doesn't seem to be the right place. Okay. And then this is the Porno Mag Theater.
So you can find it by looking at your map.
Yep. I see that. I'm just exploring. The game said explore, so I'm going to explore for a minute. Vending machine. I'm not thirsty right now.
So
you will be in a couple months.
So vending machines are gonna be nice. That's how you're gonna get like not health items, but you're gonna get SP items that use certain attacks.
Okay, so basically it's my mana refills.
Pretty much.
Got it. Sign that reads on break. And I'm guessing this is where I can buy gear.
No, but you can buy fun items that kind of help throughout the game.
You know, having a cursory experience with the Yakuza games, I have to admit I'm a little let down by the lack of the ancillary bullshit. I was expecting, like, you know, immediately to be, ooh, this is the place. No, actually, I'll stay after because real quick I want to look at everything else.
There's really not much else.
I imagine I'm going to see this shit also. Ooh, there. Old man, woman! Woman, sorry.
I believe it's an old man.
Yeah, it is an old man. They're just ganging up on us old folks. Now you know how it feels to be a millennial, asshole.
I think that's just a generation thing. Every generation's going to pick on another generation to try to blame for its problems.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing over here.
Let me explore. I mean, I've never played a Persona game before, and honestly, this bit is very much reminding me of Zelda. They're practically stealing our taxes. Who's saying that?
Just people around.
Okay.
Because see how it's saying chatter, chatter, chatter? That's just what you're hearing as you're just kind of walking along.
Ancillary people. I figured that's what it meant, but I was expecting for some reason it to be coming from like a small cluster of angry-looking men.
Mm-mm.
All right, now I'll go inside, talk to LeBlanc.
That's just the name of the cafe.
Right, I'm talking to Sojo. Alright. Wow, that's kind of disconcerting. And that's why you can't trust auto-driving cars, folks. Unless they're called Waymos. Elderly male customer. Elderly female customer. Vertical is the name of a shellfish used for farming pearls. That's an interesting fact.
He's doing
crossword, I know.
Yep.
But I've never, like... We're gonna clear out. We heard this kid's a nuisance and that he fucks up old men. I saw him, I heard he spun a dude around and the guy fell straight on his face and broke his everything.
And the dude did nothing to defend himself.
I heard he's still in the hospital in a full-body cast. He has to be fed through a straw. He's got pipes coming out of his groin because he can't shit anymore.
This guy named Wiggy. Oh dear.
Man, I'm noticing a significant atmosphere of apathy in this fucking community. Man, that old man looks fucking pissed and that old woman looks sad as hell. Also, I am a fucking giant.
You're just a really tall dude.
I mean, I'm used to being like that in real life. He seems like he's about the same height as me or else a little bit shorter, but damn, he is skinny. And I'm skinny, so he's super skinny. Sakura, please take care. Please take care of me.
Uh-huh.
Haha, I knew it! You'll be in my custody. I'm gonna lock you in the basement.
No.
You're gonna have to escape into dreamland. That guy has an epic goatee. Like,
yeah, he does.
That is a realistic goatee that I kind of wish that I could grow if I could just fucking grow facial hair, because it just looks so cool.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Monarch's goatee from Venture Bros.
Yes.
Follow me. Alright, I'll follow that ass.
We have the attic, not the basement, so slightly better.
What? Is this in his business?
Mm-hmm. It's an upstairs storage room. Technically
Great,
storage
turned
attic.
into Fry from that one Futurama movie where a time paradox duplicate of him goes back in time and tries to get with a narwhal.
Yes.
It's big. Honestly, this is pretty fucking big.
I mean, I'd say that's pretty nice for...
I feel like his response was not in any way indicative of what choice I chose. Considering he basically responded like I just said it's dirty.
Well, it's because the other response is cluttered, so they probably just have the same response per answer.
I feel like this guy is voiced by Jet Black. He kind of sounds similar to him. No, this is Chris Sabat. Oh my god, it's Vegeta. I think it's Vegeta. Watch me be totally full of shit. It's just some random dude that I've never fucking... I'm sure the one person that watches this fucking video is sitting there going, oh, this guy's such a fucking idiot. It's clearly this other person. What the fuck is this guy?
But we're clearly not looking it up to...
I know, right? Yeah, well, I mean, we could. We have all this technology at our fingertips. Unfortunately, it's all occupied recording at the moment.
That's fine. We don't need to be accurate.
I'm trying to hear, because the more part of this is that I'm listening to him with one ear in my fucking headset. But, like, the more he talks, the more he sounds like Chris Sabat and less like Chris Sabat. Okay, yeah, no, this isn't Chris. Alright, yes, I know. If I'm a butthole, I'll get in trouble. And then I'm gonna go turn around and become a fucking time paradox bandit. We're gonna be Shujin. I love how all of my dialogue options so far have just been really living up to the stereotype of fucking Japanese parrot dialogue.
Well, we gotta figure out what's going on.
And it's an academy. Prestigious.
And we're going on a Sunday.
Ouch. That's pretty shitty.
To be fair, we're missing Saturday school right now.
Yeah.
You can look it up later. What are you doing?
I gotta look it up.
You're in control.
I am in control.
So you need to not be looking shit on your phone.
I'm doing both. I can multitask.
You can wait till the end of the episode. We're okay.
Actually, so let's finish up today, and then we'll close it up.
We're pretty much at the end.
Let me just examine. Cardboard box. So it's full of my shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a sofa.
That's my bed. No,
That's your bed.
I have a real bed. I get a real bed. It's even got a mattress and something resembling a box spring. That's actually really impressive for Japanese living.
Let's start cleaning.
I'm gonna check elsewhere.
There's nothing else.
Oh, really? Because there's a bunch of fucking junk littering the floor.
Ooh.
It's not organized at all. It's quite a collection. I'm gonna check elsewhere. Messy table. Alright. So these are... I feel like that's a bit of foreshadowing, where I could leave messages. Let's start cleaning.
This dude does not clean well. Look at that. Just not even picking up anything.
Oh god, what is he doing? Oh, it's a mop. Okay, it looked like it was a broom.
It was like a weird broom mop thing. Like how you just shoved your shit like right there. We put a nice sheet on it.
Look, that makes up for all the distinct ass rape that's probably occurred on that fucking mattress.
Let's not go there.
Oh, great.
I mean,
changed my clothes.
It looks a bit...
You're surprised that I was doing the thing you told me to do? Maybe you should stop stereotyping me, asshole.
Well, to be fair, he doesn't know us. We have a criminal record.
Well, maybe stop judging me for my criminal past.
I think this place still looks pretty bad. There's still a cobweb up near in the right-hand corner.
I mean, yeah, I do not want spiders fucking crawling on my face. That is some shit
No.
I will not fucking do.
And there's still dust on the ground. I feel like we need to do a lot more cleaning. I feel like we were just kind of...
Jameson Price.
What did I tell you?
Bitch, don't tell me what to do. I do what I want.
I can stop this video right now.
Sleeping in your bed will move you forward one day. Going to bed is a special action that will advance time. Time is limited. I've heard
Yes.
about that. That apparently crafting one lockpick takes all goddamn night, but I can
Well, the way it works
fucking
is
train around
there's
the fucking country
how much
with
time that you can do certain actions, so you have to be very choosy in what you do.
I should call it a day and just go to sleep.
Alright, so I think this is a good spot to stop, because once we go to sleep, we
I
start
think
getting
you're
into more
right.
stuff.
So let's go to sleep and then we'll get into more serious
I think
stuff.
we should stop right now,
Yeah,
because
that's what I
it's
mean.
gonna kick a.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed and we'll stop the video. So thank you to the 3 people that watched this fucking video.
3 people.
We'll see you.
How generous.
In a bit. Yeah, I know 3 people. It's an expectation. Okay, I like to aim high.
Alright.
Bye everybody.
See ya.